So in this episode, it's going to be basically a guide for me to get back to where I want to be. How do I get from full emotional lockup? I don't know how to describe the state I've been in, Trapede. That's right. From there to functional.
Yesterday, we were on our way, but November came. Man, I wish it was yesterday.
Hello, my dotlings. This is not a cry for help, I swear. Okay, so if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, then you know that I have talked extensively about my mental health issues. A lot of it was in live streams and things that have been lost because it wasn't really always my best media, and this is probably going to be the same. And at some point, I want to do like the theatrical videos I used to, and when I get to that point, I want to do one that is on shadow work. I have wanted to do a video that was about how to deal with depression for a long time, and I kind of did a little bit when I did the psychic constipation, but that was more about like frustration and anxiety and dealing with things that were not quite as heavy. Someday when I get back to my actual like scripted costume videos, I really want to do one episode on shadow work, and I think this is the one thing I probably have already said. It is what it is. But I realized, like, the purpose of this video, I'm not going to tell you that everything's going to be okay. I don't know what your situation is, and I don't know what the situation is going to be for anybody right now, and that's just not something I can guarantee. What I can say is that I am here. And you are here, wherever here is. So, I think the purpose of this video was to find comfort and strength in commisery. I do plan on pulling it together and doing a magical resistance video on Madame Tortuga's Lounge, and Jay and I are going to talk about what you can do, what kind of organizations you can work with to do your part on chaos conjuring. But this channel is about divination and psychic growth, psychic spiritual growth. Without the pretension that I see in a lot of those kind of channels. Tell me I'm wrong. I dare you. That being said, I am not doing well, and I know that a lot of my friends are also not doing well. And if you look at the timestamp, you can probably figure out why. It's just been, January sucked. We'll say that. I just want to say, like, just because you are having emotions, normal human emotions, does not make you less of a spiritual person. I think that was the point of this video, more than anything else, was to... There are gonna be enough people out there hating and wishing ill that you don't have to do their job for them. In fact, you should resist, and that's something that we should all be doing now. But also, we have to take that moment to feel, to process, to try and understand why we feel the way we feel. And I know there's probably a lot of people out there who are just like, oh, okay, well, it's just not that bad. It's just politics. It's just whatever. But some of us are very scared. And if nothing else, it's January, and a lot of people are going through seasonal affective disorder. And I don't know how there would people who would be unaffected, but there are people who are unaffected, and this video is not for you. But if you're going through something, I just want you to know that it does not make you less spiritual. There are so many lies that depression tells us. It is its own, it's like a demon in and of itself. The paranoia that goes with it, feeling like you are the only person, feeling like people are only placating you. This vague attempt to make ourselves palatable. And sitting with that and looking at it is hard. So I wanted to originally make this video a guide out of that situation, but I realized that I am not far enough out of that situation to do that. And I want to work on that video. This video was as much for me to try and make sure that I'm putting out the content that I want to be putting out, like to rebuild this channel, rather than to let that demon win, rather than to let the morose nature of my skull win over my spirit. So here we are, putting out crap content that I will probably either delete or use as part of my shadow work video somewhere down the vague and distant future. I don't know that this video has a point. If I will say this at the end though, like, because I know things are dark right now, and that's kind of like the whole point of this video is to, you know, not feel alone, not listen to those lies that we feed ourselves, that somebody else fed us. If you're in a place where things are looking real dark, if you feel like you're in a bad place, it's okay to get help. You're not alone. No matter how mean that voice is, you're not really alone. You're not the only one that has experienced this. And I'm not saying that to diminish it, because I know that in and of itself is hard to hear sometimes. But there are still people out there holding the light for people like us. And when we reach for that light, we become those light bearers, so we can hold the light for other people to walk out of the darkness. So, 988 is the national suicide, or was it the national lifeline? Yeah, number. If you're in a real dark place, which I've had to call before. It's no shame. It's okay. It's okay to call that number. That's what it's there for. And I mean, like, you don't have to even tell anybody you called. And everybody's gonna know if you do the other thing. So reach out. Reach for the light. Hold the light for others. Safe travel and much profit to you.